My name is Isaiah Ahmed. I am looking to apply for the video production course for George Brown. As for a little bit of information about me, I am a musician. That's been my passion for the longest time, as before I could remember, and specifically, I've noticed in the last couple years how much of the industry that is so much centered, almost more around the visual aspect just as much as the music aspect. It's kind of a funny thing where a lot of my peers complain about because they're like, "Oh, we have to become a TikTok band to blow up." But it's like at the end of the day, it's just another way to express yourself creatively. So I people who can't change with the times don't really make it. So that's what I'm looking to get out of this program specifically. Um, I would like to go learn more about editing because I feel like that's my weakest point. Like I can set up a camera, shoot the thing, but just the minutia of editing it's worth something. So that's why I'm really looking to get into this program for. Eventually, I would like to work somewhere in like the audio visual field. I'm super in like KEXP tiny desk style like concerts, something like that, where it's like I know it's like YouTube concerts or just something of like around that grounds on a professional level. As for my favorite movie, a little bit of recency bias, but a couple weeks ago I went and saw Sinners in theaters. I really enjoyed it. I've always been super passionate about historical fiction and specifically African American history because a lot of times like it's a bit of a struggle to find out what the actual truth is with those stories because they're not really portrayed in a way that like is truthful. It's kind of like of course history is it. I really enjoyed how it was centered around music. Of course, I really enjoyed the African mythology that they poured into it, and it felt like a lot of people that were shooting that read a lot about like West African history, and they really wanted to make it like tied to the truth of like just stories that aren't told to us on a regular basis. So I was really passionate about that movie. If you guys don't know, it is a movie centered around these two brothers that live in 1930s Mississippi, and they have a buddy that's a musician. So they look to open up a big blues bar for the neighborhood for all the people to come through, and then they get run up on by a group of vampires, and then they have to fight the vampires. It's pretty like I liked it because it was like an original plot, and like there's a moral of the story with the vampires. It's this whole like commentary on whiteness as a social construct with Irish immigrants and black people at the same time. Specifically, my favorite scene in that movie was when they're in the bar and it turns into like this giant like jam scene where the preacher boy, he's playing the guitar, and then it zooms out and they start talking about how your ancestors are present with you in everything that you do in the future and past, and then it zooms out to this crazy thing where they're playing blues music, but then it shows like rappers and it shows like funkadelic guitarists, and then it like all this stuff, and that it ties with like a lot of West African lore and like mythology from where I'm from. So I'm super passionate about that. Um, as for my video submission, so I love comedy movies. That's been my thing growing up, is like the lighthearted aspect of stuff. So I felt like in a way I definitely overthought the prompts that we were. I got really excited when we got given the prompt for it because I was just like, okay, this I'm gonna make sure these guys like I shoot something that they're gonna love. And so I got my band together and we decided to shoot like a goofy little comedy movie about just a mask that takes over our buddy, and then we have to play some music for him. So we go run to a studio, and then we link up and play. But we at first we struggle because we have no drummer, and then our drummer shows up at the last minute and saves the day pretty much. And it's a little like Easter eggs to how we operate as a band. So our drummer is kind of like all over the place. So the fact that he walks in last minute and saves us. While we were shooting, I got a little too excited and shot a bunch of clips and stuff, and then I was like, oh wait, no, this is a hard 2 minute deadline, we have to edit this hard. So I believe that video really showcases my ability to direct, tell a story through video, that involves specifically my passions as an artist, and work with a cast and film. And we picked a bunch of different spots that were local to us. So specifically, I know I'm not great at editing, and that's why I'm going to school. That's why I want to get into this program, because I know the edits are a little janky here and there, but I really wanted to make that 2 minute deadline really hard. So we did whatever we could to pull it off, because I know that's how it works. So I really hope that video surpasses your expectations for what people were looking for and stuff. And I really hope to get into the program because I really want to study this kind of stuff. And I know I have an idea in my head, a plan of like how I want to incorporate it with the music stuff and really steer into that aspect while still being able to work in the field. So it's not, you don't put as much pressure on the music aspect to make it. My goals with this, again, I just like really want to learn editing, really want to learn like just color correction and all the aspects that go around film that make it look the next level, like make everything look that everybody knows. So yeah, my goals with the program specifically is to just learn how to use video as a medium to tell stories and convey a message that I resonate with. I really think that video meets all the criteria. I wrote a script. We planned all the spots on the locations. We like directed all the scenes and made sure everybody was in the right places and all the right timings and stuff. The editing part was a little bit difficult on my end. I ended up using CapCut because I didn't really have a software. But I really hope that it works for what you guys were looking for because I'm very passionate about video, very passionate about music, and I hope that I can come study in the fall. Thank you.